Om. The Light of Truth, Part 25, Chapter-12, Charvaka, Buddhist and Jain faiths. When the people of Aryavarta gave up the study of the Vedic lore, which alone enables one to discriminate between right and wrong, ignorance spread over the land and many sects sprang up. The Jain religion, whose teachings are opposed to science, took root in the country. We find no mention of the Jainis in the Ramayana by Valmiki and in the Mahabharata, while in the Jain scriptures we find the life stories of Ram Krishna, the heroes of the two poems, in detail. This goes to show that this religion came into existence after the period of the epics, for if the Jainis have been right in holding that their faith dates from remote antiquity, references to it would surely have been met with in the books like the Ramayana. It is clear, therefore, that the Jain religion was later than the period of these books. The Jain religion do not let others read or copy out their books. By dint of great efforts made by the author and especially Mr. Sevak Lal Krishna Das, Secretary Arya Samaj Bombay, some books have been obtained. Charvak. Once there lived in India a man named Brihaspati who did not believe in the existence of God, the Veda, and in the efficiency of good works, such as yajnas. This is what he believed. No living creature, not even a human being, is immortal. All are subject to death. Let a man therefore live in ease and comfort so long as he draws breath. Let a man then enjoy himself to his utmost capacity, deport himself in this world as expediency may direct, accumulate wealth and spend it on the gratification of his desires. All our interests are centered in this world. There is nothing hereafter. The soul is called into existence as a result of the combination of the four elements earth, fire, air, and water, and is annihilated synchronously with the dissolution of the body. For the existence of the soul after death is not demonstrable by direct cognition only. Answer. Your so-called elements are devoid of consciousness, therefore consciousness cannot result from their combination. They do not believe in any other cosmic entity, God, besides the soul. The Buddhists and the Jainis hold that there is no eternal, perfect God. Raja Shiva Prasad writes in his book called the Itihas Timir Nashak that they have got two names, Jain and Buddha, that is Buddhist. These two terms are synonymous, but some of the Buddhists are Vamamargis and eat meat and drink spirituous liquors. The ignorant Jainis neither know anything about their own religion nor that of others. Being blinded by prejudice, they simply talk nonsense, but those who are learned among them know very well that the word Buddha is synonymous with Jaina and Buddha, that is Buddhist, with Jaini. There is not the least doubt about it. The Jainis hold that soul itself becomes God. Their Tirthankaras, having attained salvation, become God. They do not believe in an eternal God. Jains believe that this world has no beginning nor an end. Neither it was ever created nor will it ever perish. In other words, this world has never been created by anyone. Ratnasar, Part 2. Now we come to the measurements of the earth. On this crooked planet there are Asankhyata lands and Asankhyata oceans. On this earth, Jambudvipa is the midst of all islands. Its area is 1 lakh yojanas or 100 crore kosas. This island is surrounded on all sides by the salt sea. Its area is 2 lakh yojanas or 200 crore kosas. Next to it is the ocean called Kalo Dadis. Its area is 800 crore kosas. Further back is Pushkaravarta Island. Its interior is divided into zones. One half of it is occupied by men. Further than this, there are countless oceans and islands in which crawling creatures live. Ratnasara Garbha, page 153. The belief of reincarnation without the existence of God. Question. It is foolish to believe in the existence of God, for a man can take on a new body as a result of deeds done in the past birth. Answer. If it be in the power of the soul to take on a new body without divine instrumentality, it is inconceivable that it will, of its own free will, be incarnated amidst unhappy environments. The plea that the soul is subject to the fruits of its deed will not hold good, for even a thief does not go to jail voluntarily, nor does a killer mount the gallows of his own free will. It is the king by whose authority these sentences are executed. You cannot, therefore, but believe that God exists in order to cause the soul to take on a new bodily forms and to reward or punish it according to its good or evil deeds. The Jains are strictly prohibited to 1. Praise a person belonging to another religion or talk of his good qualities. 2. Salute him. 3. Talk much to him. 4. Talk to him frequently. 5. Bestow upon him food and clothes. 6. To supply odoriferous substances and flour to enable him to worship his idol. Vivek Sagar, page 121. Let the wise consider with what feelings of hatred, malice, and hostility the Jainis are actuated in their relations with those who profess a religion different from theirs. We should now expose further the errors of the Jain teachers. Whoever disobeys the behests of the Jain saints by deviating from the path carved out by them and thus falls into moral turpitude commits a sin and is involved in misery. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. Just as a ruby which is embedded in the head of a venomous snake should not be sought after, even so it behoves the Jainis to shun the company of a non-Jaini, no matter how virtuous and learned he is. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. All religions that are opposed to the Jain faith lead mankind to sin. It is therefore best to shun all other faiths and believe in the Jain religion only. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. In a former aphorism, it has been stated that all belonging to the non-Jain religion are preachers of falsehood and the Jainis alone are possessed of true knowledge. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. It would have been very much better if the non-Jainis, the preachers of falsehood, had not been born at all or had not attained growth, even if born. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. It is a good thing to worship Jain idols, but worshipping idols of non-Jain is no good. Whoever obeys the commandments of the Jain religion is a philosopher, whoever does not is not so. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. Let the Jainis never engage in trade and agriculture, even though they risked their lives by obeying this injunction. These occupations lead one to hell. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. People that believe scriptures whose teachings are opposed to those of Jain scriptures are extremely wicked. Let no one believe or speak anything against the Jain religion, even if by doing that he can gain his aim. Let no other religion be accepted, even if by so doing something be gained. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. If a man were to say that the Jain ascetics are virtuous and so are others, he would be doomed to pass billions of years in hell and thereafter will be reborn as a despised creature. Prakaran Ratnakar. If a man has only a desire to believe in Jain scriptures and never to pin his faith to non-Jain books, he can cross the sea of misery. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. The Jain religion is accepted only by those that are possessed of good fortune. In other words, all non-Jains are ill-starred wretches. Prakaran Ratnakar, Part 2. Idol worship leads to salvation, and by visiting a Jain temple, one becomes possessed of admirable qualities. Whoever worships the idols of the Tirthankaras by offering them water and sandal is released from hell and goes to heaven. Vivekasar, pages 51 and 52. By worshipping the idol of Rishabhadeva placed in a Jain temple, one attains righteous ends, wealth, the fulfillment of desires and salvation. Vivekasar, page 55. Question. You commit a sin in drinking water that has not been heated by fire. You should, like us, drink the water that has been heated. Answer. This is also foolish. When you heat the water, all the animalcules in it must die. The particles of their bodies are so thoroughly mixed with water which is being boiled. You, in a way, drink a decoction of the dead bodies of those tiny creatures. You are, therefore, very great sinners. Question. We never heat water with our own hands, nor do we ask any householder among us to do so. We, therefore, commit no sin. Answer. If you refused to take boiled water, the householder would not heat it for you. You are therefore answerable for the sin. You are, we think, greater sinners than the householders, because if you had asked a particular householder to heat water, it would have been heated only by that householder. Now, because the householders do not know when one of you sadhus will turn up, each one keeps boiled water. Therefore, you are the chief sinner. Again, it cannot be gainsaid that you are engrossed in ignorance. Is it not a sin to take a pity upon tiny creatures and to malign and injure non-Jainis? It should be borne in mind that a dhanush is for the purpose of measurement 3.5 times of the length of a human hand. Jain Tirthankars, Rishabhadeva, length 500 dhanush, age 84 lakhs purva years. Ajinath, length 450 dhanush, age 72 lakh purva years. Parasnath, length 9 dhanush, age 100 purva years. Mahavir Swami, length 7 dhanush, age 72 purva years. The 24 Tirthankars were the chief preceptors and teachers of the Jainis. Here are a few more absurd statements made by the Jain teachers. Nagaket lifted on his finger a stone as big as a village. Kalpa Bhashya, page 4. Mahavir pressed the earth with his finger. This caused the snake which supports the earth to tremble. Kalpa Bhashya, page 46. Rice pudding was cooked on the foot of Mahavir, but the limb was not burnt. Kalpa Bhashya, page 47. A camel was made to stand in a small vessel. Kalpabhashya, page 10. The dirt on the body should not be removed or rubbed away. Ratnasar, part 1, page 14. A Jain sadhu named Damsar, who was beloved of the Tirthankar Mahavir, chanted the aphorism which brings on terrible calamities, and a city was set on fire. Vivekasar, part 1, page 15. A prostitute named Kosher heaped up oil seeds in a plate and fixed in the heap a needle covered with flowers and danced on it. The food, however, was not pricked by the needle, nor was the heap of oilseed scattered. Vivek Sar, page 227. Continued.